when the first rankings came out, and Washington wasn't at 4. But then again, I mean, we can sit there and get all been out of shape about week 1 or week 2's rankings. We all know if Washington wins out, no matter what anybody really says, Washington is going to be in the playoff. It's a given to me. But I don't think they can afford to lose a game, and I think then they're on the outside looking in, even if they end up winning the Pac-12.
Did it give you some room for pause? Because I know that a lot of people thought if A&M was going to be in 1 week, Ohio State would probably be in the next week, given the relative criteria that they apparently tried to use.
Well, yeah. Again, only because I look at this as the end of where we're headed. I look at December, first weekend of December, and where would these teams be? So I don't spend a lot of time, even though I thought Washington should have been up for the first 2 rankings, I'm not going to jump up and down and get upset because I know if Washington gets through USC on the road in the Apple Cup at Washington State, Pac-12 championship game, they're sitting there 13-0. They're in the playoff. It's just a matter, are they going to be at 3? Are they going to be at 4? Are they going to be at 2? Where will they be? That's the really only discussion. So I didn't feel like jumping up and down and saying this isn't right, because eventually if they win, they're going to be in the playoff anyway. So
how about the job Chris Peterson's done?
Freak. I mean, he's the best. He's when he was doing it at Boise, we always kind of marveled at what he was doing with a smaller program. And we always hoped he would go, we love Boise, but we always hoped he would go to a big-time program just to see if he could take that same blueprint. And, there was always thought maybe he'll go to USC or maybe he'll go wherever. And, of course, he ends up in Seattle, which is a great history, but it's been so long since the Huskies have been up in the mix. And I just thought it was a matter of time until he got him going. I didn't know it would be this fast. The way he's doing it, the quarterback play that he has going right now, it's incredible. I would put him up in the top 3 or 4 coaches in the country, whether he's at Boise State or here at Washington. I don't know how he does it, but he is as consistent as anybody.
How much do you think USC jumping up to 20th this week enhances the national perception of this game?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think it's amazing. You guys would be frustrated. You get east of the Rockies, and because the games are 10:30 Eastern a lot of times, the fans in the Big Ten and the SEC and the Big 12, they really don't have an appreciation for the Pac-12, just being very candid. And so when you're not playing in a highly viewed or a highly ranked opponent, it just kind of gets lost in the mix. And so if we took a poll of not just fans but media people that are east of the Rockies, how many times have you watched Washington play? From the beginning of the year to the end of the year, you might hear somebody say, I saw him play, half of a game. Nobody sees them. And so it really hurts their perception when they're trying to say they're one of the best teams in the country, and now they get a big-time name opponent, USC, who's up in the top 20, and they get a chance to take care of them.
Do you think when you were at Utah, did that game change anybody's minds, do you think, about the Pac-10 in general, or did that add to the idea that maybe the Pac-12 isn't as strong this year as it has been?
Anybody who follows the sport knows if you go to Salt Lake City and they're pretty good, that's a tough win. I don't think, again, people in the Big Ten or the SEC get that. But I think it showed me personally, because I wondered myself, they've been to Tucson, they really hadn't been challenged by anybody. Would this be a game where we could actually see them get challenged? And they were, and they answered the call. And I think I definitely felt that they proved themselves there, and we'll see if they're able to do it now against USC and Washington State and the Pac-12 title.
In your observations, do you believe that Washington can compete with the likes of Clemson, Michigan, Alabama?
For sure. Based on the film I watch, and watching Clemson, watching Ohio State, watching Michigan, watching Alabama, the quarterback right now, his play is as good as anybody's. He's not turning the ball over. They've got great skill on the perimeter. They can run the football with Gaskin. Their defense, with the corner play that they have, it allows them to be very, very aggressive with what they do. They've got big bodies on the front line, so it's hard to run in the interior on them. Their linebacker play is exceptional. I would love to see them on the field with an Alabama or with an Ohio State or a Michigan, just because I don't think they take a back seat athletically. But again, they gotta finish strong here and get it done.
You got to think this Washington team's not going away anytime soon.
I don't see them going away. I do think there's going to be a game, whether it's Saturday at the SC game, or if it's at Washington State. One of these games is going to come down to the final minutes, and they're going to have to pull out a victory. I don't think you're going to go through the whole season blowing people out by 4 or 5 touchdowns. I just don't think you can get through the whole year. As the pressure gets intense in November and December, it's different. It's different. We'll see if they can handle that because it's new for them.
What are you expecting to see tomorrow, Kirk?
I want to see how Sam Darnold plays in this setting. I want to see if he's trending right now as one of the hottest quarterbacks in the country. I want to see how he plays in that environment with that crowd and that defense to see if he can stay with Jake Browning, because it's going to take that kind of performance to me to be able to be competitive.
And just from 2013, what do you remember about this game day experience?
Great scene, great atmosphere, early 6 a.m. start to our show locally. This is a great town for football. I keep saying I wish the playoff committee I wish Seattle would bid on the national championship, because this town loves football. And when game day shows up, we're kind of just an opportunity for them to show the nation how proud they are, their team. And we take a lot of pride in being able to bring the show to the West Coast, and Washington has really embraced us. All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay.